Dialogue, a talk show where we cover topics about healing from addiction to getting rid of your zits. If feeling passionate about something we're talking about, give us a call on our call-in number, 989-402-5414, so you can talk with our coach, Deb, who's been coaching for 6 years. Without further ado, here's our host, Deb.
Hi, and welcome to Diva Dialogue on this kind of cloudy Monday here in Bay City. I hope it's nice where you are, at least. It's warmer and it's starting to look like spring here. I really appreciate spring because I'm just not a winter girl. It's pretty to look at, but I don't like to go out in it. We have an interesting guest today. It's my first time meeting her, and I am going to allow her to speak freely about whatever she wants to talk about. And I'm going to ask Marina to please introduce yourself.
Hi, Deb. I agree with you. I hate the winter. So, hi, everybody. My name is Marina, and I'm a vegan blogger at soulintheraw.com. And I focus on teaching people about consuming a high raw vegan diet. So that means most of your calories are coming from uncooked plant foods. And it's just wonderful for overall health and for digestion. Digestion is a big focus of mine right now, especially because I suffered from it a lot. And so I'm coming out with a course also very soon. In 2 weeks, it's going to be out on how to make flavorful vegan food.
Oh, how wonderful. That's really cool. Is it going to be an online course?
Yeah, it's going to be totally online, and it's just going to teach people recipes. And then also I came up with a system on how to flavor your food. So I'm really excited about that because it's pretty unique, and it just helps you kind of be independent in the kitchen and not rely on recipes and just kind of follow the steps and make your own healthy food.
Oh, perfect. That's wonderful. We'll have to find out how to get enrolled in that before we end our conversation today. Hey, so tell me again the name of your blog, please.
It's Soul in the Raw.
S-O-U-L. I love it.
S-O-U-L.
That is such a cool name. You know, it's funny because when I was young, I was real into raw foods. And I always wanted to have a restaurant called Eat It Raw.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
But obviously I never did. So how did you get involved in being a vegan and eating mostly raw? I heard you say something about your digestive health.
Yeah, so actually the person that really inspired me was my mom and her story of healing severe inflammatory disease that she had in her bladder. And the only thing that helped her heal was raw food and water fasting. So that actually just gave me the idea that food is healing. I never thought about it before, and I think a lot of people don't really realize that, right? They think, oh, food is whatever, it just tastes good. But her story actually gave me that connection that we can have control over our health. So I was suffering a lot with digestion, and I think a lot of it came also from traumas in my life, more emotional traumas and needing to heal from that. So, it took many years actually to improve my digestion, and it's still improving. There were times when I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. That's how bad it would hurt. And so I think it's a process, and that's also what I teach, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to switch to raw food and it's just going to go away immediately, but it just takes time. But over the last 5 years that I've been a high raw vegan, I've seen really amazing positive improvement.
That's good. So name some of the improvements. I'm sure that it's not only in your digestive system.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the biggest thing emotionally is that I feel a lot more connected to myself. I feel happier. I feel energetic. I get excited to get up in the morning, and I think I feel more in tune with myself because my journey was kind of more on the emotional trauma side that I wanted to heal. And physically, I feel really clear-headed. I have very few days that I don't feel good, and when those days happen, it's really shocking to me. Like, what? I'm not supposed to feel anyway. And it's pretty cool because I know a lot of people around me that I see are having these like little aches and pains on a daily basis that I don't really have to deal with. Even though I'm young, I'm only 29, but I see my friends already at my age like suffering, and it just makes you wonder like what is going to happen later in life. So I'm really grateful to find this lifestyle.
Very good. It's funny. So many people that are into coaching and teaching usually comes that passion. They have found that passion from exercising, and I mean not from exercising. I don't know why I said that. From going through something traumatic themselves and finding out what worked for them, and then go on to find what works for other people. Is your mom doing really good now as well?
Yeah, she is. She
Cool.
was sick for so long. She was sick for 8 years
Oh my.
with this bladder condition. It's called interstitial cystitis, and basically feels like a urinary tract infection. So just burning 24/7 and just constant urination. So it's really horrible, and she couldn't leave the house for 8 years. So after all that healing that she did, she lives a normal life, which is so amazing to see that food can, facilitate your body's healing abilities in that way.
Right, and food is medicine. That's absolutely correct. You know Dr. Andrew Weil, I'm sure.
Andrew, yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of him.
I love him. I went to nutritional consulting school. I was going to go on to be a naturopath, but then I stumbled upon this and I stopped. But his whole theory is food is medicine, and
Absolutely.
and it's too bad. And I'm not putting down MDs they help us so much in so many ways, and I've seen them just really help a lot of people that are in chronic pain or have hurt themselves or whatever, or even surgeries, like cleaning out carotid arteries and stuff like that, prolonging life. But the fact remains that carotid arteries would not be clogged if you ate differently, and your bones would be stronger if you ate differently. And it's preventative. Eating properly is preventative. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. And, even further than that, I'm really like a research-centered kind of girl. And I love, I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Michael Greger on nutritionfacts.org. He talks about the research on nutrition, and he talks about the power of it. Just like people talk about the new drug that's coming out, we never hear about, the benefit of whatever, asparagus or broccoli.
Right.
And this research is happening all the time. And the really cool thing is not only, like you mentioned, which I totally agree with, the preventative side, which is huge. There's even the reversal. So the vegan diet was found as the only diet to reverse heart disease, which is America's leading killer. So it's unbelievably powerful.
Wow. And so why do you think that is? Why do you think the vegan diet can actually reverse heart disease?
Right.
Wow.
It has been found to reverse heart disease. Yeah, and he talks a lot about that. I think it's because it's a very clean diet. I hate being negative about it, but it's more of what you're taking out of your diet even though fruits and vegetables are so healing, and all of the nutrients in them, the phytochemicals, which are like antioxidants, for example, we just started discovering all of them. There are thousands. So the research about that is just beginning. But aside from that, so the China study, which is one of the widest nutrition studies in history, the largest, found that animal protein causes cancer. So that was not only cancer, heart disease and diabetes and all of these different diseases. So that was the biggest link. And it's not even the cholesterol and the fat like a lot of people believe.
Right.
It's the animal protein itself. And so taking that out is extremely powerful.
Right. And is it because of the animals, the way that they're being raised now? That China study is really scary too, I might add. But is it because of the chemicals that they're being fed now, or was it always bad for us?
So yeah, so that's a great question, because definitely the move to organic is a better move for sure, because there are all these antibiotics and chemicals like you mentioned. But it's not only that. So the China study was looking at rural China. So just looking at animal protein itself, not even looking at the different chemicals, and you know, the amino acids that make up animals basically, and it found a link there. So it doesn't matter if you're getting organic, there's still a scientifically researched link between any animal protein that we consume and these diseases.
So it doesn't really make any difference what kind of animal protein we're eating. We should either limit the amount, or not eat it at all, really, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Limit as much as you can. And you know, I found personally, I was a total cheese addict. So if anyone feels the same way, I'm with you. And actually, he talks a lot about casein, which is the protein in dairy. What were you going to say something? Sorry.
No, huh? Keep
Oh,
going.
okay. So you know, being a cheese addict, I found that it took me a long time to get out of my diet, even when I really wanted to. But even if I would have a little bit, which for a while I would just have a little bit, like once a month, you know, as my craving would just kick in, it really kept triggering having more and more. And then they found that the makeup of cheese and dairy is such that it is super addicting, and it has properties of heroin. It's that bad. So if anyone is addicted to it, it makes total sense. And it took me a while, but finding all of these recipes and getting this method of making food flavorful is really what helped me finally kick that habit.
Yeah, but I love cheese.
Yeah, I get it.
We have another guest that just entered the studio too. Her name is Anne, and she's a chef. So I'm gonna let her join us. Okay. You want to just pull that over to you there. So and how long have you been on your vegan diet?
5 years now.
5 years. So what other changes have you had changes in your, like in your skin, or in what other, like what else have you noticed?
Yeah, skin is a big one. When I was younger, it's funny because when I was a teenager and all my friends had acne, I never faced that. But in my early 20s, I started getting acne randomly, which was really frustrating. It wasn't super bad, but it was present and it was frustrating. And people always tell me now that I'm glowing and my skin is so clear and bright and glowing, and that I look very healthy. And, you know, I definitely feel very healthy. I'm getting sick much less, and when I do, it's just for a few days. And, you know, also I'm very active, I'm very athletic, and I love going to the gym, and I love lifting weights, and it's just, I have the energy to do all these things, you know, and I also have my own business, which is a lot of hours of work. And I just find myself getting tired very late, but just going. So it's really, really cool.
Very good. So I forgot what I was going to say. So you have all this energy now, and